everybody. This is Mark from Landmark Financial Services Group, and this is the third in our series talking about the guidance we have on the PPP loan forgiveness calculations. Today, we're going to talk about FTEs, which is called as an acronym for full-time equivalents, because if you've reduced your workforce, then the amount of your loan forgiveness may be impacted. So let's walk through what all this means. I'm going to bring up my trusted outline, which again, as I've said before, is on our website, so you can refer back to it at any time. Now, as I said at the beginning, this calculation is used to determine, and I'm right down here, whether the borrower's loan forgiveness amount must be reduced to a statutory requirement, okay? And basically what the law is saying is, hey, look, if you have reduced your workforce, okay, the PPP loan was designed to keep your workforce in place. And if you've gone and reduced your workforce, well, then maybe a portion of your loan is not forgivable. Okay, so let's walk through a couple of things. The first part are the important dates that you need to consider. And so you're going to want to do the FTE calculations for the dates from Feb 15 through June 30th of last year, from Jan 1 of Feb to Feb 29 of this year. And if you're a seasonal employee and neither of those 2 days make a lot of sense, maybe you're a summer employer, or you're most heavily employed in the summertime, you can use any 12-week period from May 2019 to September 2019. You're going to do the FTEs for all those, and then you're going to do it for the covered or the alternate pay period. Now, remember in the first video, we talked about that alternate pay period. So as long as you're staying consistent with your FTE calcs, have to be consistent with the payroll cycle that you're using for the payroll costs. So you want to do your FTE calculations for at least 3 out of those 4 pay periods. Now, how do you calculate FTEs? Well, the guidance says this. During the covered or alternate payroll period, each employee, you enter the number of hours that you pay them during the week and you divide by 40, okay? And then you round to the nearest 10th. Now, it does say that each employee is capped at 1.0. So if you have an employee that works 50 hours, right, they worked overtime, and the calculation would be higher than 1.0 because it would be 50 divided by 40, it says, nope, you cap it at 1.0 regardless of how many overtime hours they have. So that's how you calculate an FTE for the purposes of the PPP loan forgiveness. Now, they also offered a simplified method, which is here, and it basically says this. Everybody who works 40 hours, you assign a 1.0 to them. Everyone who works less than 40 hours, you assign a 0.5 to them, and then do your calculations, okay? So those are the dates that you're going to want to do the FTE calc, and this is how to do the FTE calc. Okay, there are a couple of things that's important to understand as part of this, and that is, this first one here is the reduction exception. So if you have any positions for which you made a good faith written offer to hire an employee and the employee rejected it, that's not going to impact your FTE calculations. In addition, any employee who during that same period, that covered period, right, were fired for cause, willfully resigned, or voluntarily requested and received a reduction in their hours, they will also not penalize you for the reduction of FTE related to those employees. Okay, so those are important considerations as you're doing your calculations. And then down here, you'll notice there is what they're calling a safe harbor. And there are 2 pieces to this. And it says the borrower is exempt from reduction in the loan forgiveness based on FTE if employees described, if both following conditions are met. The borrower reduced its FTE levels before February 15th, and the levels in the period beginning before February and ending on April 26th. Remember, the loan proceeds, most didn't even come until after April 26th. So if you reduced your FTE before that, then you don't have to consider that part of the reduction in your FTE calc. Or, and rather, the borrower restored its FTE employees, but no later than June 30th. So anybody that you laid off during that period before the PPP loan proceeds were received, or at least from Feb 15 until then, as long as you rehire them by June 30th, then you can include those people as positive in your FTE calculation. Okay, so that's pretty much how to do the FTE calcs. We have a fourth video coming, so be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please don't really hesitate to reach out to us. You can find us at 978-984-5425 or on our website at lmfsg.com. Thanks.